So, I don't do a lot of these. That's not going to work. I don't do a lot of these reviews or takes. I used to do a few of them. You know, like it's when you take somebody's creation, YouTube original content usually. Let's say two people debating, or two people talking, or just somebody putting out original thoughts of them, their own thoughts, their own theories, their own IP, intellectual property, whatever you want to say. Okay. So, a lot of people grift, and it's the first level grift isn't bad. I don't mind too much commentary if it's the first level grift. If you're good at it, you can provide a little something to it, okay. But it's a grift. If they didn't put out their original content, you probably wouldn't have much to entertain people with. This, what I'm doing, is what I call it might be a second or third level grift. But I've never liked to do these, whether I'm good at them or not, because I don't want to grift if I can help it. I like to think of myself as an artist, and therefore I want to respect other people's original stuff. And a lot of times, like, I watch physics, I watch psychology, I'm watching people who are the best in the field and who are great communicators. I'm not sure they need me to try to translate, you know? All right. So, let's get back over here. So this started here.
Reply wasn't exactly celebrated, even by his own fans. Duncan has always been one of those Rogan Sphere comedians who seem to get a pass.
So I don't know. Duncan's okay. I've never watched him outside of Rogan. If he doesn't go on Rogan, I don't watch him. And I'm not saying he seems like a funny guy. You know, like. So this. I hope I'm doing this off the hip. I don't have time to watch. I've got all the time in the world. I'm homeless, living in my car for like 7 months now. And filling up my time while waiting for shit to fall into place. Meetings, schedules, paydays, avoiding fucking bad situations, whatever. There's plenty of time to watch stuff, and I don't have a time to watch all the comedians I'd like to watch, right? I think I'd be interested in, right? So unless they're doing something, you know, like Cat Stevens. God, he's funny. And man, he did a lot of great shit I agree with. I still haven't gone out and watched his comedy. I'm sure it's funny as fuck. So there's this concept of time and space that the internet and these newer generations have really just lost. The accusation that you're not watching the right people is a lame one. Or covering the right subjects. Or I love how the book ban thing goes. They're banning books in libraries. So when you have hardcover actual books, you only have so much space in a grade school library, in a high school library. You're not going to be able to fit them all in. So you have to curate what goes in there. And so is it really banning books, or is it really just trying to get the best selection for a certain age group that does the best job, right? So these grifters, these second level grifters, first, second level grifters, they're commenting on other people's videos, on other people's. They're like the modern tabloid. Inquirer, right? Things like that. The magazines you see on the grocery store, right there, like, they're not the end all be all of, just like, who were they? Who are the famous guys that, who are the famous guys that movie critics from the 80s? They weren't, right? They're wrong a lot. Critics are not culture. They're a representation of a sliver or a subsection of culture, but that doesn't mean they speak for everyone, nor are their opinions necessarily rooted in education or artistic expression or class, like informed, right? Even if they sound informed, doesn't mean they are informed. So I've been seeing these. There's 2 channels that I watch. One guy's not too bad, but he gets a little cringy, right? The other one's a British dude, and he's talking about the Rogan Sphere. He's talking about Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. And in their opinion, they find it gross, lowball, cliquish, all this. And you know what? To some degree. But when we spread, and I'm a Rogan Sphere guy, all right? I've been saying I need a Lee Spokane because I'm disabled. I got a wheelchair in the back here. I'm paraplegic, and I'm actually disabled. That means Tony Hinchcliffe will probably blow me if I go down there. No, and I'm that desperate. No, I'm not. I'm not. Anyways, I'm an out-of-work comedian. I say that a lot. I wonder why. Get it? Rogan, who cares? Like, the amount of caring they're putting onto this, the amount of, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing these things. How horrible. No. No, it's just transparent, which is better than Hollywood. It's like, these things happen. There's still comedy in LA. There's still comedy in New York. Not really. Okay, whatever. Things shift. Cultures change. And yeah, it sounds like the mothership has some pretty confusing unwritten rules. Maybe, I don't know. If you can even say this, elitist comedy? Nah. I mean, I don't mind these guys saying it, right? Don't get me wrong. They say whatever they want. Back to the... I digress. All right, so... Now, Duncan Trussell crashed out over Elephant Graveyard. All right, I didn't know who Elephant Graveyard was, so I had to come over here. It's an hour and a half something. And as you see...
To that iconic stage had meant something to them.
I've watched
something about their career, their
3 minutes
and, about the
and 40 seconds. I'm not sure what I'm watching. I think it might be a troll. I think it might be a parody. I think it might be just a pure comedic. Fuck it. Let's put something funny out there. Let's make it, like, when it's the joke. The joke I think might be, and I haven't watched it, that as they walk you through all this Rogan Sphere cringe or this and that, and they're grifting off other people's theories, right? Oh, well, let's take what you guys are saying, put it in there, but then let's make a little bit of a counter argument, and then let's say some dumb shit. And so after an hour and a half, you're going to have people who are like, yeah. Oh my God, it's so true. And then maybe other people just laughing because they kind of get, there's double entendre, there's double entendres, not just in the words and meanings, but in the sections that have dual meanings, and so both sides will get it, which is pretty nifty, without realizing it. And the other people are like, oh, I totally get it. This is just a shit show troll, and who cares if it's true or not? It's not an attack on anyone. It's just a fuck around fucking film. Because in 3.5 minutes, there are certain things that make me feel like this isn't serious. He's contradicting himself in sort of a funny way. And so, like, okay, he's calling a certain theater in Toronto sacred. Where earlier he listed a bunch of 70s icons that went there. And then said, I don't really know any of these fuckers, but my dad says they're really important. So he saw Seinfeld there, so, it's like, why are these fucking lowlifes up on this stage that says, because they fucking gotta fucking make money, all right? Every night on these stages, you're not going to get, what's the garden? What's the garden in New York? Something Gardens. They have things that you don't know about. They have operas, they have comedy, they have boxing matches, they have all these different things. They got to pay the bills, and not all of them are Hall of Famers or American icons. And there's no, as long as there's enough to fill the seats, they're probably going to sell the venue. So. And this is why I don't think it's serious, because he was taking the aspect like, how dare Kill Tony be allowed to go on this sacred stage in Toronto nobody's ever fucking heard of because it's in Canada. Even though everybody in Toronto has, nobody outside of Toronto's ever heard of this place, unless they're in the industry. So, I don't know. I think it might be a big troll. A big double entendre troll where by the end of it, you're going to go, what the fuck was that? Like, or no matter which side you're on, you're going to go, yeah, that's it, motherfucker. That's right. You nailed that motherfucker. I don't know. It's just a guess after watching for 3.5 minutes. I think there's I think they put a lot of time into scripting a troll. And they don't care who they're trolling. It's almost a Michael Malice hour and a half type troll. All right, that's everything.